Hey friends, it's Susan. How you doing today? Today I'm going to talk about clay. Now, I got to tell you, I have made every mistake in the book when it comes to working with air dry clay. And I'm going to save you that trouble and take you through the process that I have honed over many, many years. There are many air dry clays on the market, and I think I've tried all of them. The clay that I have decided to use after many years of trial and error is from Amica. And this is the box. It sounds really heavy, 10 pounds, but the clay weighs a lot, so it's really not all that much clay. Working with air dry clay is a ton of fun because kids love air dry clay and adults do too. It's very tactile. But air dry clay can be very disappointing because it is fragile and crumbly. When you're working with air dry clay, you want to have certain rules and guardrails in place so that they aren't disappointed that their piece is crumbly or falling apart. All right, let's get to it. Clay comes sealed in a plastic bag. Keep the plastic bag because you're going to want to put your leftover clay inside it. It is gray, but it does dry much, much lighter. So the first thing we do is we touch it. We touch it, we smush it, we move it around, and we describe it. So have your child describe the clay. What does it feel like? Is it cold? Is it hard? Smushy? What does it feel like? This is a good way to improve your vocabulary. Clay is much, much harder than Play-Doh, and that's a good thing because it makes your hands work much harder in order to manipulate it. Warm it up a little bit, we get into the three basic forms: sphere, coil, and slab. And we're going to make all three, and I invite you to do this with me. So to make a sphere, also called a ball, you're going to take a piece of clay and you're going to roll it around in your hand. Kind of smush mine a little bit and then I give it a roll between my hands. This is going to take a few minutes. It's not going to happen instantaneously. Just roll it between your hands. Some people roll it on the table or on their board as well. Okay, next is a coil. A coil is also called a snake. Form it into a kind of a log. Now what you're going to do when you roll out your coil is you're going to use both hands. A lot of kids like to just use one hand. You need both hands to keep the pressure even. You're going to roll away from you and towards you, away and towards, away and towards. You don't want one part to be real thin, one part to be real thick. You want it to be the same thickness throughout the coil. The more time you roll it, the longer the coil gets. And by the way, that thickness would be about the thickness of your pointer finger. We want to remember that thickness because that is the thickness we want to keep our clay at. Move your hands around so that the coil stays the same thickness as it grows. The last form that we want to explore is called a slab. A slab is flat, relatively flat, like a pancake. Not flat, flat, but about the flatness of a finger's width. So start out with kind of a ball shape, press it down. You can stand up and do this. You can squeeze it between your fingers. If you have a rolling pin, you can roll it out, turn it over, press it down. You want your slab the same thickness as your pointer finger. You don't want it thinner than that. One of the big frustrations of air dry clay is when pieces are too thin and then they break off. So we've got the slab, the coil, and the sphere. Next, we're going to attach a piece to another piece. There will probably be times when you want to attach two pieces together. There is a method for this to help your pieces stay together. There are three steps to attaching one piece of clay to another. They are called scratch, slip, and smooth. For scratching, you can use a plastic fork or a toothpick. Slipping, you're going to need a tiny bit of water. And smoothing, you may need a popsicle stick, or you can also just use your finger. Okay, so say I want to attach this sphere to this slab. What I'm going to do is, number one, I'm going to scratch. So I'm going to take my toothpick, make some scratches where I want the two things to attach. So I'm going to scratch this part, and I want it to attach right here. So I'm going to scratch this part. This roughens up the clay, so it sticks better. After I scratch, I'm going to put my pointer finger in some water, slip some water onto the clay. Then I'm going to attach this scratchy part to this scratchy part. Press down. And the last step is called smooth. So what you want to do is you want to smooth the connection between this and this, like this. You can also use a popsicle stick. Okay, so remember, scratch, slip, smooth. So those are the basics of working with air dry clay. Play around with the clay. Smush it, gush it, make something, make a bunch of interesting things before you decide to make something that you want to keep, which we will do in the next video where we make an animal pinch pot. That's it for today, and I will see you next time.